Ever wondered how life would be if Earth decided to pull a Venus and rotate in the opposite direction? No? Well, too bad. We're discussing it anyway. Let's delve into the tale of two planets, Earth and Venus, and their peculiar spins. The Earth, our home, spins on its axis from west to east, a rotation that brings about day and night. But hold your horses, because Venus, our neighboring planet, walks to the beat of its own drum. This rebel planet spins in the opposite direction, from east to west, and does it at a snail's pace. In fact, it rotates so slowly that a day on Venus lasts longer than its year. Yes, you heard that right. A Venusian day is longer than its year. So if you're someone who complains there aren't enough hours in the day, Venus might just be the place for you. Now, before you start packing your bags for Venus, let's talk about the weather. Spoiler alert, it's not beach weather. You see, the way a planet rotates greatly influences its climate. Our Earth spins on its axis from west to east, creating a merry dance of weather patterns. It's the reason we have our beautiful sunrises in the east and sunsets in the west. It's also why we have winds and ocean currents circulating in predictable patterns. But Venus, our brooding neighbor, likes to be different. It rotates in the opposite direction, a phenomenon called retrograde rotation. To put it in perspective, if you were standing on Venus, you'd see the sun rise in the west and set in the east. Mind-bending, right? Now, according to scientific studies, if Earth decided to follow in Venus's footsteps and reverse its rotation, we'd be in for quite a wild ride. A study published in the journal Nature Geoscience suggests that a reverse-rotating Earth would experience constant hurricane-level winds. Imagine that for a moment, winds so strong they could make a kite out of an elephant. In this topsy-turvy world, our weather would be unpredictable and extreme. The oceans would churn with colossal waves, and the winds would howl like a pack of wolves night and day. And you thought forgetting your umbrella on a rainy day was a disaster. Try forgetting your wind turbine. All right, so the weather's a mess, but we're humans. We adapt. So what's the game plan? Let's imagine the scenario. With the Earth spinning like Venus, our day-night cycles would be drastically different. Instead of our familiar 24-hour day, we'd be looking at a day that lasts 243 Earth days. Yes, you heard it right. Almost two-thirds of a year spent in daylight, followed by a similar period of darkness. Think about it. Sunbathing in January and skiing in July. The extreme weather conditions would make life outside a challenge. Winds would be howling at speeds we've never experienced. Our houses would need to be as windproof as possible, maybe even underground. We'd have to rethink our entire lifestyle. But here's a twist. With the prolonged nights, we might become nocturnal creatures. Yes, just like bats or owls. Our sleep-wake cycles, known scientifically as circadian rhythms, would need to adapt to this new reality. We'd be having dinner at what we now call breakfast time and vice versa. Our work schedules would be turned upside down, night shifts would take on a whole new meaning. Scientific research suggests that such radical changes would indeed be challenging but not impossible. Humans are adaptable. We've survived ice ages and extreme heat waves. This would just be another hurdle in our evolutionary journey. So, if you're a night owl, congratulations. You're evolutionarily ahead of the game. If you're not, well, better start loving those late-night infomercials. So, with all these changes, the big question is, would Earth survive if it rotated like Venus? Let's dive into the scientific predictions about such a rotation change. According to our best minds, it's not a pretty picture. The long-term effects could be catastrophic, to say the least. We're talking mass extinctions here, folks. Imagine a world without the chirping of birds or the rustle of leaves. Sounds eerie, right? And that's not all. Our ecosystems would undergo drastic shifts. The lush green forests, the azure oceans, the snow-capped mountains, all could be a thing of the past. Life as we know it would be forever altered, and not for the better. The balance that nature has so carefully maintained for billions of years would be thrown into chaos. So in the end, it might just be safer to stick to our regular, boring eastward rotation. After all, as they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.